Welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. And this is going to be my opinion review slash whatever you want to call it of Ahsoka episode 4. Just finished watching it, and in general, it is not necessarily a bad one. It's a decent enough episode. It still suffers from what a lot of the other episodes. Fuck, start again. Hi, thanks for stopping by the channel. This is going to be my opinion after watching episode 4 of Ahsoka. Just finished watching it now and thought I would share. So, all in all, not a bad episode. It still suffers from a lot of what's wrong with the other episodes in that it's slow. They stand around talking a lot about stuff or staring off into the sky or doing pretty much anything except for moving the story forward. But anyways, we start off at the end of where they were at the end of episode number 3, which is they brought their ship down on the planet that's got the Stonehenge, for lack of a better term. Notice they basically copied Stonehenge for this, but anyways. The bad guys send their guys off to intercept Ahsoka and Sabine. And while they're trying to get ready to go wherever it is they think they're going to go. So, again, there's lots of sort of standing around looking at each other, and I've noticed that Rosario Dawson's standard situation is she stands there with her arms crossed a lot. But anyways, they start leaving the ship. It takes them a hell of a long time to leave the ship, but at least Sabine puts on her Mandalorian gear and takes her guns. So she fights like she's supposed to fight. She's a Mandalorian, not necessarily a Jedi. So fight like one. But there's kind of a good scene where the robot is outside trying to fix Ahsoka's ship and gets jumped by those assassin droids. So you actually see two robots doing hand to hand, and it's not bad. It's kind of a little bit strange why robots would punch each other because they don't really do anything. So, besides the assassin droids, a bunch of those troopers that you see, basically the same ones that were in the Mandalorian episode on that planet where Ahsoka meets the Mandalorian. And there's a quick little fight, and Sabine uses her Mandalorian armor and guns and equipment to do what she has probably been trained for most of her life, and they get into a fight, which they quickly win. So that's good. High hopes from that section of it. Back to the baddies where they're staring into the sky. So then they send off baby evil Jedi and the guy with the spinning blades to delay Ahsoka and Sabine long enough that they can take a long time to actually get the coordinates of where they want to go. So then we jump into fast forward, Ahsoka and Sabine running towards this area that they suddenly know where it is for no real reason. But they get off, and now we get a decent fight with Ahsoka going after the spinning blade baddie, while Sabine takes on the baby bad Jedi. For some bizarre reason, Ahsoka fights with a single lightsaber for um, most of her battle with the baddie spinning blade helmeted guy. I don't know why she originally trained with a single lightsaber, but got rid of those in favor of two, and you can see the second one hanging. It's not like she dropped it. She's actually a much better fighter with two, and most of the Rebels and other animated series, she always fought pretty much most of the late, at least, episodes she fought with two, and even took on Vader with two. So why she suddenly goes for one, I don't know. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. But so, anyways, Sabine takes on baby bad Jedi, um, firing guns and using her Mandalorian armor and a couple of other tricks. Because the Mandalorians were supposed to be able to give as good as they got from Jedi's in most cases. Um, until the baddie throws her up against a tree and magically her helmet pops off and she drops her gun. So, of course, she has to pull out her lightsaber, which, again, she's not supposed to really know that much about it. She's done some training, but the baby baddie Jedi's probably done much more. But, anyways, they get into a battle, and Ahsoka takes on Spinning Blade baddie with the helmet, and it's a little bit laughable because of all the people trying to guess who he is underneath his helmet. And Ahsoka, I don't know if I should spoil it for you, but it's kind of a huge letdown when Ahsoka defeats him. Yeah, it's I don't know how to describe it. It's she basically takes him down, and there's no reveal. So she leaves Sabine to take on the baby Jedi and baddie Jedi, and heads off to take on big bad Jedi, Ray Stevens' character. So they meet in the map area and talk a lot before they eventually start fighting. And again, Ahsoka's using a single lightsaber. For some reason, you would actually think that she's actually less skilled in a single lightsaber since she's gone to two. But, anyways, they do fight and talk a lot. But it's a fairly good battle, although Ray Stevens is a little not who I would call a graceful person. So he's not maybe as good as a younger, faster actor could have done. But it's a fairly good fight scene. Um, ultimately, Ahsoka gets defeated. Not really, but disappears off the screen. And Sabine shows up. The baby baddie, they two kind of fought to a draw, and the baby baddie runs away. Somehow Sabine gets there before her. I don't know, explain that one to me. But ultimately, Ahsoka tells her before she disappears to destroy the map, and she doesn't because of Ezra. So, anyways, suddenly baby baddie Jedi. Guess they can't run in a straight line for some reason, or Sabine is simply faster, but the baby baddie shows up and they get up into the spaceship just when, oh, here's the general and some X-Wings. Why they didn't come sooner is totally beyond me, but there was a scene there in the middle of all the fighting where they decide they're going to come. Why they didn't do that earlier is beyond me. I guess because the script wants them to. They show up just at the end, and the big ring takes off with Sabine going along somewhat willingly because of Ezra. Um, that's it, and unfortunately, not particularly the best story, but at least we got some decent lightsaber battles, and the story did progress. And at the very end, you will see a cameo of Anakin Skywalker appears to Ahsoka, who suddenly is in the world between worlds. I don't know why, but she's suddenly there. And so is Anakin, and not Darth Vader, but Anakin. And that's how they end the episode. So that is an interesting ending. We'll really have people tuning in for episode 5 to see where that goes. It's the de-aged Anakin. Looks okay. But yeah, that's it. So all in all, again, slow, short, not very long episode, and some good lightsaber fighting, some good non-lightsaber fighting, lots of close-up pictures of people staring at each other, before they start the battles. Lots of people staring off into space, yeah, it's that's probably, I like this series. I enjoy it. I would say, come if you like Star Wars, this is decent Star Wars, a lot better than a lot of other ones, but it does drag at times. They spend a lot of time doing and saying nothing, just looking at each other, and that's maybe the most negative thing I have to say. But this episode, I said three was a bit of a downer. This episode four is much better because it's progressing the story, bringing forth Anakin cameo at the end. They're finally going to have the answer about getting Thrawn back. Um, yeah, the big disappointment is that when the spinning lightsaber dude was taken out, unless he magically appears someplace else, and this is Disney, where no one ever actually dies. But it was a very disappointing reveal in that he's nothing. Okay, thanks. This is my review. I hope you enjoy it, or maybe not enjoy it. I hope you find it useful.